So let's dig a little bit more into matrices and their inverses. And in particular, I'm going to explore the situations in which there might not be an inverse for a matrix. So this is a review. We think about if we have some matrix A, is there some other matrix which we could call A inverse, but when we take the composition of them, so if we view them each as transformations, we would end up with the identity transformation. Or if we take the product of the two, we get the identity matrix. And we would also think about it, well, if A inverse undoes A, then A should undo A inverse to also get the identity matrix. And so another way to think about it, if I take some type of region in the coordinate plane, so this is my x-axis, this is my y-axis, and so let's say my original region looks something like this, right over here, and I apply the transformation A, and I get something that looks like this, just making up some things. So if I apply the transformation A, it takes me from that region to that region. Then we also have a sense that, okay, A inverse, if you transformed this purple thing, should take you back to where you began. Because if you start with this little blue thing, and if you have the composition, well, then that should just be transforming it with the identity transformation, so you should just get back to this little blue thing here. Now, this might start triggering some thoughts about determinants, because you might remember that the determinant of a matrix tells us how much a region's area will be scaled by. In particular, let's say that matrix A takes a region that has an area of, I don't know, let's call this area B, and let's say it takes that area to 5 times B. So the area here is 5B. Well, we know that scaling of 5 you can determine from the determinant of matrix A. That would tell us that the absolute value of the determinant of matrix A is going to be equal to 5. But what does that tell us about the absolute value of the determinant of A inverse then? Well, if A is scaling up by 5, it scales areas up by 5, then A inverse must be scaling areas down by 5. So the absolute value of the determinant of A inverse should be 1 over 5. And so now we have a general property. I just happen to use the number 5 here, but generally speaking, the absolute value of the determinant of matrix A, if it has an inverse, should be equal to 1 over the absolute value of the determinant of A inverse. And we could, of course, write that the other way around. The absolute value of the determinant of A inverse should be equal to 1 over